Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and joined with me today are the other three sweet transformations in my awesome I'm going to beat up this bad guy collection, starting with the sweet magical girl, Jared.
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in, and my transformation that is the most iconic, I will argue, is Sailor Moon.
Fighting evil by moonlight.
Iconic. Like, I've never even seen it, but iconic.
Everyone knows it. It's wonderful. Oh my goodness, you've seen it. It's been recreated many times over.
Definitely.
And they just brought it back to Netflix, if I remember right.
No,
I've seen it.
Congrats, Sailor Moon.
So,
I like how Crunchyroll like a true fan.
There you go. Dan, what about you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger. And I'm definitely the Gurren Lagann of this podcast.
You son of a bitch! No.
Epic transformation. One of the best. I love it so much. The glasses as a chest piece.
You're a literal piece of shit. You're fucking, you motherfucker. No, I fucking hate you. You fucking snake in the grass.
Is it not the best transformation?
Piece of garbage.
Is it yes or no?
It's amazing. You know, you are gonna fucking get it. Now you're on my fucking shit list this
Calculated.
You motherfucker.
I can't wait to see what you come up with, Tony. But until then, how about you, Alec?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashborn, and my favorite transformation is, I would say, a Gohan and Trunks fusing to become Gotenks.
Yes.
In Dragon Ball Z. That is pretty epic. It was like probably one of the first things I've watched like that, obviously, besides the, Power Rangers or whatever, but it's pretty dope. It was pretty cool. What about you, Tony?
What's up, everybody? I am begrudged. I'm really upset. I'm like genuinely mad. And it's it's good for this session. Hello, everybody. I'm Tony. My awesome transformation is going to come from an N64 video game called Mischief Makers. If you know, you know. It's one of the coolest side-scrolling beat-em-up games you can play on N64, and it's the final boss where all the villains that you fight throughout the game come together to make this giant beast Megazord, which I think is called Beast Tector. I don't think that's the name, but yeah, all the bad guys come together to make a giant Megazord for an epic final fight. If you haven't played Mischief Makers, absolutely check it out. And now you know the deal. Before we do the recap, we're going to do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by Dan.
Thank you for so politely passing it off, Tony. Oh, what a good rapport we have. First thing, big thank you to Dana for giving us that intro suggestion. If you're a supporter of any tier on the Patreon, you have access to that channel. Go on in there and give us some intro suggestions, because we need them. Today, I would like to run down Spotify, but specifically the comment section. If you did not know, on your phone, if you have it going on your phone when you're in your car or you're at work with your earbuds in, make sure that when you're done with the episode, go down in the episode. Not only do we have polls, important poll down there right now, actually, don't look, it might be a spoiler, but we also have comments. You can only comment on mobile, I believe. So go to your mobile device and go down and comment. And what I want to know is if there is anyone in this earth that listens to DND404 from Connecticut. Even if you're not from Connecticut, let us know where you're from. I'm very interested where you're listening from. But I do want to know if there's any Connecticut person out there that is listening to DND404. Very curious, using this for my own selfish means. But without further ado, Tony, please roll us into that recap.
Now you know the deal. Sorry, I had to close out 5 Gurren Lagann tabs. Now you know the deal. I'm going to go ahead and roll my giant foam D4 heavy in by my bunnies, where I am number 1, 2 is Alec, 3 is Dan, 4 is Jared, and I have a basketball hoop on my door. Fellas, how would you like me to shoot it, dunk it, slam it, place it, throw it? Period.
I want you, when I say go, I want you to do the fastest dunk you can from your chair, like race as fast as you can and dunk it. We're going to time it. You got to be sitting in your chair to start. Ready? And go. 2.1.
And he's moving it around, and he's moving around too.
There's no way.
Bro, there's no way, man.
There's actually no way.
This whole bullshit with the weight of the die, bro, it's getting rigged. There's no shot I'm doing 3 in a row. Absolutely.
You did do 3 in a row.
You know what, Tony? Just roll it again, man.
No.
How about this? Just record your throw again.
How about this? I'll do it for this episode, but you have to do it for next episode. No roll.
I'm not kidding. It landed on 2 again.
Alec is the person, I will say, with the most back-to-back rolls.
See?
In our podcast.
I think Tony's doing it on purpose.
Who has the most though?
Tony's the person with the least back-to-back rolls.
Wow. Interesting. It's highly suspicious, though.
I don't know if that correlates.
I think hate is going to hate. You know what I'm saying? Shoot is just shoot. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah. Last episode of DND404, we started off by barely escaping the collapsing Mimic Cavern via Armos flying us to safety as a Baylor demon. We then decided to take a short rest, patch up our wounds, and exchange some letters and other items in case something happened to each of us. We then discovered the Garden of Victories, where we met Nemaris, which is the first prophet of Umbrea. Nemaris and the guys made a deal where we had to win 3 challenges in order to obtain his soul vessel. Due to his pulled muscle and, other circumstances, Drell lost his arm wrestling match, no fault of his own. However, with a nat 20, Minnis wins his hide and seek match, and in the final and most challenging, Armos won a dragon chess match. We emerged victorious, gathered the soul vessel, and that is where we left off. Bard, play that intro.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Umbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Fellas, boyos, welcome to session 140, where we pick up in the Garden of Victories. We last left off, Armos and Nemaris just had a chess match. Nemaris had granted the 3 of you the soul vessel that lie dormant within a massive tombstone golem. Upon receiving the soul vessel, Nemaris is gone, with only his cloak laying on the floor, and the tombstone golem slowly losing life as it re-solidifies back into the ground in a kneeling position. Minnis, you had also found a door on the other end that looked sealed in the shape of a tomb-style door. You also notice that you have de-aged by at least 2 years.
I elbow Armos. Armos, really cool that you finished him with the Cloud Bloom Strike. One of my favorite moves.
Cloud Bloom Strike.
You see Reginald taking notes.
You gotta remember that for when I play Sid next.
Yes. At least that's what my best friend called it back home when we played. I don't know what Cloud Bloom means, but I'm sure it's a pretty cool thing.
Minnis had friends back home?
Did we go through this?
Yes, totally.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I had friends back home.
In his head, he's talking about his mom. All right, let's get going. He walks awkwardly and fastly to the exit.
As the 3 of you approach this door, it's very large, and this one looks like more of a tomb door. Like if you're about to enter some type of mausoleum, and you see that below the door is this like dark, ghastly energy that's just like lightly emanating through the crack in the bottom from the grassy cobblestone, and you get this great sense of evil as you approach it. There's no handles, but you notice that it pushes inward.
All right, who's ready for some bad juju? I start pushing the door open.
You open the door, and as the double doors open inward, this black, ghastly energy, smoke like surrounds your feet. You are met with dark, black marble stone with red, like cracks with surging energy coursing through them. The entire room is a circle shape with 4 large demonic skull statues pouring this black and white, thick, oozy liquid into these 4 pools around the circular walls of this room. The black, oozy liquid is overflowing with this black smoke that is surrounding your feet that was seeping out of the entrance door that you just came in. On the black marble stone with cracks of this red flowing energy is this pattern of a large demonic skull with the face of like a fox combined with an anteater. On top of this design, in the center of the room, is a large coffin that is chained shut with more of this black energy coming out of it. Other than those 4 pools of black and white oozy liquid pouring from the skulls of demons in a circular room and this coffin, there is nothing else. It feels that you just walked from a garden into a dark closet of some kind. You feel completely void and disconnected from the area you just came in as the tomb doors slowly shut behind you, removing any light source from the garden.
All right, this looks terrible. I'm gonna go back. And Minnis tries to open the door.
The door is sealed shut.
Oh.
Guys, you want the good news or the bad news?
Good news.
Okay, I was lying about the good news. The bad news is the door's shut.
As you try to look around, the only light emanating in this room is the red energy coursing through the cracked black marble stone. You look like you're in a mausoleum or this tomb for one.
Can't get it open. Wait, Drell, maybe you can. Maybe I'm just too weak. You give it a shot.
Yeah. Let me see if I could open this. And Drell tries to open the door.
There's nothing for you to grab onto, as it would be a pull from this side. You try to get your fingers in the cracks, but there's nothing for you to latch onto.
Why did we just walk into a scary room? Why would we do that? Why would we just do that? It's just walking a little slowly into the middle of the room.
In front of the coffin, on top of the imprinted fox-like demon skull, where this coffin is resting on, there is a plaque there. And it has this Baloon language, just like all the other doors and areas have. Armos, you are able to read it, and it says, "Here lies Orvexus, the first prophet, the prophet of free will."
Well, so if the prophet's in here, we need all those things.
Oh,
Maybe we
goodness.
just blow this up? What's your guys' thoughts?
Yes?
If I like scratch the surface of this thing, does it seem like it's stone or does it seem like it's some other material?
So when you touch the coffin, it is made out of, it looks like brimstone from Avernus. And it has this very colorful sheen, mineral-like sheen to it of a gem not found on a material plane. A mix of brimstone with this rare type of ruby ore encrusted and engraved with blood shards all around it. And the blood shards make up tiny skulls of foxes.
Yeah, should be easy to blow up. Just shrugging.
I mean, yeah, you can give it a try. I'll step back.
The last room we had to got some talkings. It'd probably be the same thing this time, right?
Yeah, totally.
We got to talk to him. We had a nice conversation.
Uh-huh.
We all look younger now that I'm looking around and seeing everybody. Minnis, why are you so far away?
Oh, I thought you were gonna blow it up.
Oh. Well, let's give it a shot.
Drell, what are you doing? They're
Hiding behind a pillar.
How are you gonna blow it up, Armos?
I'm flipping through my book. No. Seems like it's a stone. Oh, okay. Here's something. I'm gonna take a step back as far as I can, and I'm gonna cast Shatter on it.
You're casting it at 5th level?
Yeah.
So you're gonna add 3d8 to that attack. I'm gonna make a roll here. Go ahead and roll for damage for me.
25.
You take a few steps back in the room and you cast Shatter. As you see, like, Reginald puts on these, like, makeshift goggles as he's on your shoulder looking at the carnage that's about to happen. And then this coffin begins to rumble. You see some cracks along the edges. And then, boom, the lid flies completely off. Hits the ceiling above you. And it falls down onto the center of the floor, covering the skull pattern imprinted on the floor. And you see this black smoke that is emanating from the 4 pools around it begin to seep out slowly as fog. The base of the coffin is cracked. However, it still holds its integrity. And it looks like it just cracked around it on the outside, but the integrity of it is still in pretty good shape. But the lid of the coffin falls on the floor in front of you. And you see from where the lid has blown off, you see these folded hands, these folded fingers wrapped around each other just over the hump, and you see that there's something glowing as it's holding something inside the coffin.
Looks like I got him. Drell, your turn. You wanna go grab that? In the coffin? Up there? We'll stay here?
No.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, so you get on ahead.
Well, I'm making sure the coast is clear, looking around and stuff. So, Armos, you already started it. You might as well just finish it.
You're right. Yeah. Totally gonna go up there myself, and I cast Magic Hand, and I try to go wiggle my hand. My magic hand flies through the air and tries to grab whatever's glowing within the...
You see as your hand zooms over and it immediately gets lost in the dark fog that is emanating around this corpse that's inside the coffin, as you see it tries to pry something. However, it is not strong enough to release it free.
Oh, we need someone who's strong. I can't pull it.
Fun fact, Mage Hand can't lift things up like that beyond 5
Don't
pounds.
tell Drell that. I'm trying. It's just, it's a really heavy thing.
It's a dead body. How scary can it be?
So Minnis, you're up.
Still taking notes.
Yeah.
Still not done with this paragraph.
Here, you know what? Let me see that. I grab his journal and I start writing in terrible, like...
Oh my gosh,
He
you're
has
messing
really
up the
nice-
syntax. Give that back.
He has really nice handwriting, and it's just my...
Armos, just do it, Armos. I don't understand what the problem is.
I did my job.
Look, this is like a demonic room, okay? Look around us. Do you see all this? This is your
Whoa.
area of expertise. So
is it because I look a certain way that you're judging me off of
No, it's
these things
because
have horns
you,
that I have
use
horns?
it book to absorb souls and use it for magical powers. So that is more
That's true,
along
you
the
do
lines.
that.
Yeah, see? Mhm.
He's deflecting, but he's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you're linked with the literal demon bunny. And,
and you're
talk
literally
about the stuff all the
linked with
time.
the demon, and you talked about how you built a bridge.
You're really
for
excited
the end
about
of the
raising
world,
zombies.
For, you know.
Look, only because it's cozy in here, I will go ahead and check it out. And I walk up and book in hand, ready to bunk anything that comes out their sarcophagus.
About time. I look at Minnis.
Without looking back at Drell, he shakes Drell's hand like good talking him into it.
Armos, you walk over and you see the corpse with its eyes shut, with its long fox-like snout, pointy ears, with decaying fur, with symbols sketched along the brim of the coffin and on its furry forehead. It is holding an orb, the corpse of an Arcanoloth. It is clasping on to one of these soul vessels.
All right. So I'm used to terrifying things, but that takes the cake for today. So I book in one hand, reaching out with the other, grab the shard.
You reach for the orb, and you're trying to let it go. You feel the power pulsating between the bony fingers. And as you're trying to grab the orb, it is clasped down tight. It is like an iron vice on the orb, its hands. And you try to pry it away, and you feel that you need to really pull hard here. As you feel the bone almost snapping in your fingers, give me a strength check as you try to violate its hand.
I knew I was gonna have to do this. This is ridiculous.
I mean, all you have to do is grab the orb.
Got a 12.
You do not pass as you are trying to break through, and as you have a book in one hand and you're trying to move the skeletal hand out of the way, you put your book down for a second as you lean over and try to pry the hand full, and then you see it lets go and the skeletal hand grabs your wrist as you failed that strength check, and you look up at its face and you see these eyes wide open staring at you, and it has this bony smile as it looks at you as all of the mist from the 4 pools and the coffin begin to flood the room like an explosion of smoke.
You're doing great, Armos. My thumbs up.
The whole room, as your thumbs are up, Minnis, you completely get blacked out as this magical darkness encompasses the whole circular room, and then the 3 of you feel weightless for a moment. Armos, with your devil sight, as it kicks in, you see that there's nothing but pure vast blackness around you as you feel like you just fell a quick 3 feet into the void. You find yourself on this black marble-like platform in the middle of nothing, with the moon high in the sky, ominously hanging over you. As you get your bearings around you, you feel like you're in a familiar place, like you're back in Shadowfell.
Oh God.
Do I still have the orb?
You do not have the orb. You're not able to break it free from its
Oh
hand.
my God, you couldn't grab it, Armos?
I told you!
One
I
job.
knew this was a job for you.
You had one job.
Just remember, this was your doing.
God, dude.
Now we're gonna do things the hard way.
So untrustworthy.
I go look over the edge of the platform.
You look over the edge of the platform and there is nothing. It is just pitch blackness, empty space. There's no wind. You don't see any stars in the distance. The only object you see other than the one you're standing on is the large bluish tealish moon high in the sky. The same one that you've seen in Bayloon when you were approaching the Ruby Castle. And it looks ominously similar to the giant looming moon that was hovering over you, Shadowfell.
Not looking good, guys.
Well, okay, are we actually back here? Because I really don't want to be here right now.
Yeah, maybe if we flick the lantern, we'll just go back to the other side.
We can hope.
I'll try. Minnis will do a use of the lantern.
You try to illuminate the lantern and the flame gets snuffed.
Guys.
Yeah.
A shadowy, echoey voice emanates. It feels like it's coming from beneath you, but at the same time all around you.
It grinned like a skull behind a veil of shadows. A jailer's eye, never blinking, never wavering, always open.
God, listen, I love poetry, but why do they all have to speak like this? We get it. You're cool. You're smart. Come out and fight us.
Ash the shadows, and you shall receive. Accumulate with the others. Join the pool of knowledge and bask in his glow.
And you see from the edge of the platform, these large nails begin to clasp onto the edge as this furry paw with large claws, almost like it's pulling itself up. You see one hand, then another, and then launching. It's from the complete blackness of all around you, this fox-like face, this Arcanoloth, massive in size, shows its head.
And I will be the one to send you there, as I am the one who brought him to you, to all of Umbrea, to all of the Astral Sea, and I will show you the true meaning of what free will can bring.
And you are looking at the Orvexus, the shadow of the first prophet. Everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
17.
2.
14.
And you said ask the shadows. You mean all the people that we just slayed to get here, and you think you're gonna stop us? And I'm almost getting lippy as he trips and falls down in initiative. Why don't you go ask the shadows?
As this shadowy, massive fox looms over you, just to give you a better descriptor, if anyone's ever played Star Fox 64, the Andros fight at the end of the game, this is kind of what it's looking like with two massive hands.
Wow, spoilers, man.
Coming out. You ever played this 30-year-old video game?
Insane.
These two furry claws and head just appearing from the shadow with no torso or limbs of any kind, looking like Rayman, is a starling Arcanoloth, which looks very close to this shadowy fox as it looms at you. And we're gonna start on initiative 17. Minnis.
Oh, Sids, you know the deal. Tornado time. And he starts spinning around me and I start floating. I'm coming for you, Vexus. As I go up 10 feet very slowly. I'm coming. Just you wait. When I get there, you're gonna be in for it. And I'm gonna sling some bullets to start. That is stupid face. Ooh, rough. That's gonna be an 18.
18 is gonna be on the money.
Woo. And the next one's gonna hit then with a 22. And as I hit him, I'm gonna make him my favored foe. So I'll use a mark of my favored foe. So that'll add a D8 every time I hit. 24, 39 points of force damage. And then my SIDS are going to move me another 5 feet after I hit to put me in half cover.
The head is about 40 feet total from the platform. You're about halfway there as it's floating there, and it stares at you as it receives these shots. It's like,
Pebbles, mere pebbles.
as it takes a legendary action, and you see that its hand that's gripping from the platform slices up at you. That's going to be a 25.
Yeah.
You're going to take 13 points of slashing damage with an additional 19 points of necrotic damage. You see that as the hand attacks you, it just like hovers around you as it like regains its composure, but it has moved to that spot as it's now 20 feet above the platform. We're gonna move to initiative 14, Drell.
Okay. Then I'll probably just take my movement towards the hand, its right hand, and I'm gonna just try to take an attack. And then just for the record, I have the +3, I believe, in damage right now. That is a 24 to hit. Oof. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
And a 25 to hit. 65 damage.
65 damage. You slash, you give this a 3-piece combo. As you see, it bleeds the shadowy ooze as it falls on the floor and it's twitching in its spot while with its palm face up to the sky. And you hear a like a fox.
Oh, shit.
Ear shattering as the hand is like now on the platform, just like it's twitching in place.
And then I would like to bonus action move my 3 points into my AC.
Goes to your AC. Awesome. We're gonna move to initiative 10, which is Orvex's, as he just finished shrieking in this shadowy howl, almost deafening the 3 of you as it took you by surprise, and it's going to make its attack. You see that it makes 2 attacks here. As one of its hands slams down, it's gonna attack Armos. One of its hands slams down on Armos.
Oh, thank God. I mean,
dirty 20. That's going to deal 12 points of slashing damage and an additional 20 points of psychic damage. As you see, as this hand comes down, it glows with this dark, shadowy purple. You're going to make me a charisma saving throw with DC 17.
25, and take half from slashing.
Nice. You succeed that saving throw as we move, as the head begins to glow, as it stares at Minnis floating, coming towards it. It's going to make an attack as this burst of energy comes from its mouth and eyes as the 3 beams come together to make this horrific burst. It's gonna be a 26, and that's gonna be 35 points of necrotic damage. We're gonna go and move to initiative 2, Armos.
All right, I'm gonna cast a spell in that area.
So you're creating an orb that's 20 feet?
Yeah, it should encompass his face, and both his arms.
Minnis would be caught in this radius that you're trying to do.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Okay.
wow. Remember that, Minnis. I mean, I don't think Armos said that out loud, but it's fine.
So Minnis is up in the air, even though
You're gonna hit Minnis if you do that spell, almost.
Yeah.
All right, well then I'll just do the 2 on the side. So I'm gonna hit his right hand left of me and his head, and I'm gonna do Sickening Radiance. He has to do a Constitution saving throw of a DC 19.
He fails.
So he's gonna take 11 radiant damage.
Half of his face is affected by this radiant damage, begins to burn off and singe as some of the shadow explodes like fire.
I'm just gonna kind of position myself around the hand and kind of be more on the right side of the platform.
You move yourself around the hand, staying in an attack range, as you are not going to take attack of opportunity here. And it's going to use a legendary action on the end of your turn, and it's going to try to hit you with the claws and moves. That's going to be a 24 to hit. That's going to be an additional 11 points of damage and 12 points of psychic damage.
I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke.
You rolled a 13 dexterity saving throw.
So it fails. So 22 fire damage.
As the hand singe and reflects and juts back, but it is still floating in place as it just attacked you. You now move to initiative 1. As you see the hands and glow in shadow, and the one that's twitching that was on the floor begins to turn back over and is now floating above you, Drell, as it looks like it regained its composure. The right hand that was just singed with fire shakes it off and flexes, and also looks like it regains its composure again. We move to initiative 20. As the Arcanoloth is shrieking in the radiance, you see from behind it a floating tome reveals itself. It is a huge book that is emanating in this black, purple, shadowy energy, and it's floating around it, back and forth, left to right. As we move to initiative 17, Minnis.
I'm going to fly up 10 more feet, starting to kind of go to its left side, although I'm looking to the right, up at the moon. And I'm going to use a bonus action to ignite my Flail Ogburn Flail. And I'm going to just make some attacks to start. It's going to be 26.
Hits.
And that's going to miss the next one. It was like a 14.
Oh my god, Minnis.
As it takes 27 plus 1. I guess I'll add the SIDS. 33 points of fire damage.
As the fire smacks across its face, you see it breathes as it doesn't move very far, and the fire is snuffed against its fur. You don't feel like you made a strong as an impact as you did.
All right, SIDS, that's not the weapon today, huh?
Its face stares at you as its white pupils narrow down, and he goes,
First you die alone, then you are joined with the knowledge of others.
and it's going to use a legendary action. As you see the tome opens up behind you, and it furrows through the pages, and you see that words begin to become highlighted on its pages as you see a rift opens from within the folds. Out falls a demon.
Excuse me, what?
As it falls from the pages, it floats down, it lands on his back, it quickly becomes up to its feet. As it looks around, long and snake-like with a flat hammerhead with eyes on either side. It's looking around and it's snarling as it bleeds blood, as it leaves these horrible, horrific blood prints onto the platform from its muscly skin tissue as it begins to snarl. Rachel goes,
Oh, it's a baby. It just achieved adulthood. Doesn't have any wings.
Oh.
Okay.
as the demon shrieks and joins the fight. We're gonna move to initiative 14.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to turn around and try to attack the demon. I'm gonna use a bonus action to move the 3 points back on damage. That is a 25 to hit. Reginald, close your eyes. Fuck, that's a,
Yes, Drell.
oh, okay. 15 to hit. Okay, and the last one is a 30 to hit. That is 82 damage.
This demon joins the battlefield, and as it hits the floor, snarls and begins to charge at you. You straight up just decapitate it with 40 points of damage. Cleaving, I'm going to allow a cleave for this because you did so much extra damage. You cleave the other 38 points of damage onto the hand that's next to you that had regained its composure onto the right hand.
Nice.
With those 3 attacks. As you attack twice, decapitate the demon, and the rest of the damage cleaves into the right hand.
Hey, look at that.
As the demon falls, you see, like the other demons you've been fighting, a large blood shard takes its place. You see as it implodes in on itself, its skin begins to stretch, and it mutates as it reverts back to its original state of a blood shard that's there, floating.
I think that is going to be my turn.
Look at it. Your heart is glow, filled with the knowledge of all the lives it's taken. Filled with the knowledge of its former weak life, just adding to the pool of power.
He's going to take a legendary action and attack you with the claw that's right next to you, right after you receive that cleaving damage there. That's a 33 to hit.
Yep, that's going to hit.
That's 10 points of slashing and 22 points of psychic. As he moves to initiative 10, which is Orvex's, as he
Con saving throw.
As he makes a Constitution saving throw because he's in Sickening Radiance.
Nice. Yeah, get sick.
Get sick, nerd.
Oh wow! I rolled a 2 and a 3 as it as it fails.
Woo!
It's gonna take how much damage?
Rolling. Oh my god, that's so many ones. It took 8. Ugh.
As it continues to singe, he's gonna go ahead and move 20 feet out of the way, just getting out of the Sickening Radiance, and 5 feet higher, just out of the range of Minnis. Minnis, you can take an attack of opportunity here with your flail because it has a reach. So it's leaving your reach.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, you do not take attack of opportunity as it's going to make 3 attacks on its turn. 2 with its claws, 1 with its head. Drell is going to attack you first.
Oh god.
Okay, that is a 28 against Drell, an 18 against Armos with a second claw attack. Drell, you're going to take 13 points of slashing damage. Armos, you're going to take 13 points of slashing damage. Wow, we're in place. Drell, you're going to take 23 points of psychic damage, and Armos is going to take 15 points of psychic damage. As both the claws go, as its mouth and eyes begin to light up, as the head casts a spell. You see as its eyes glow and its mouth, you see all these dark bolts of energy. Okay, it is, fuck, I always forget how we do this because we fuck up. You need to make a DC 18.
I used my proficiency, charisma, but I'm gonna use Dark One's Love.
What'd you roll?
16, and then I can roll a D10, and so far I haven't been doing great on these. And okay, I got a 7, so it'd be 20.
23 as he goes to cast a spell of shadowy bolts, and the spell fizzles out as you saw 9 of these magic missile-like spells aiming for Minnis.
Oh.
And the mouth just whoa. And you see a light form within its jaw.
Armos, my hero.
Don't worry, I wasn't totally gonna cast Sickening Radiance on you earlier. It's
What?
I got you.
Why do you say it like you were?
As it moves to initiative 2, Armos.
All right, I am going to drop Sickening Radiance, and I'm gonna cast Fireball from my staff, and I'm gonna cast it. Get my ruler out. Boom. Armos gets out of the way of this stupid hand that keeps getting in his way. He finds an opening, fires from his staff, fireball up into the sky, and hit both of the face and the book with the explosion.
So it needs to roll dexterity saving throws. It hits the book, or Vexus fails.
Okay, so it does 43 points of fire damage in a sphere hitting both, right?
Yes. As you see, the fire immediately singes out on the giant floating head as it takes half damage. But the book, you feel like the book is just like burning in place before the magical fire dims out.
All right. Other than that, I think that's all I'm gonna do. Well, actually, there is a Bloodshard on the old battlefield. I'm just gonna get a little closer to it, just in case. In case we need to do anything super silly about it. So I moved to the other side of the hand. Now I'm more in the center of the platform near the Bloodshard.
I mean, it is a bonus action if you want to mess with it.
Well, I mean, since I'm here, you know what I mean? Maybe I just reach out a little and just give it a little tap with my book, see what happens.
You tap on it with the book, and you absorb the blood shard into your Acrylis shard, and you now have 1 held. You can, just a reminder what you can do with it, you can absorb it for extra damage on an attack, or you can shoot it out and put it in another spot and it floats in place.
Almost think of the children.
I'm thinking of the world right now, Drell.
As we move to initiative 1, as the singed burning hands and the sickening radiance begin to flex and compose, and it looks like it shakes off any wounds that it sustained in the prior round. We move to initiative 20. The tome is going to move its position as it moves on the other side of Orvexis, using its massive head as almost a shield. And then we move to initiative 17 minutes.
I'm going to move 10 feet, obviously. I'm going to drop my concentration on my favorite foe, and I'm going to cast a 4th level Guardian of Nature to turn into Trimus. And what that does is that gives me 10 temporary hit points. Nice to have, nice to have. It gives me advantage on Constitution saving throws, which, if you don't know, dear listeners, when you get hit by spells to make concentration checks, that is a Constitution saving throw, so that could help me. I also make dexterity and wisdom based attack rolls with advantage, and 15 feet around me is considered difficult terrain. As my SIDS in twig forms, it's almost like a hurricane around me of twigs and stones.
Various SIDS float in space like around you.
So that's a bonus action. So I'm going to use my action to hit it with some sling bullets. Why not? I have to reroll that. Ooh, that is a 19. That'll hit. Barely. Wow, with advantage. I rolled 2 of the worst rolls in 4 dice I've ever rolled. And that'll be a 17, I think, to miss.
That misses.
That's wild. As it will take 18 points of force damage.
It takes 18 points of force damage as it shrieks in pain.
With myself and the SIDS.
I admire your tenacity to face me this day, to come to a world unlike yours, only to face failure in the end.
Speak up. It's hard to hear you when you talk like that.
I can see the outcome of every choice you
I regret
made,
saying this.
and they all end in failure.
And I end my turn.
Infinite possibilities free will provides, and I see all the outcomes. they all lead to one ending.
You end your turn as it takes a legendary action as a hand flies up to come and almost claw you in an uppercut-like fashion. That is a 31 to hit.
Ow.
You take 13 points of slashing damage, an additional 25 points of psychic damage.
Concentration check. Barely pass. Holy. That's scary.
As we move to initiative 14, Drell.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn right back around and continue to attack the opposite hand of the one Armos and Minnis are at. That is a nat 20 on the first one. Does that hit?
It's
Nice. Okay. Second one, that's actually an 18 to hit, and that's a 15 to hit.
It's
Thank you for the +3. Okay. And then I would also like to make this a distracting strike. So everyone else has advantage on the following turn. And that is 123 damage.
Ooh, the hand falls over and lands onto the platform as it's crippled, as it begins to bleed the shadow. And you see this visceral bones peering out from the furred claw. There's no extra damage to cleave onto, so that's gonna be, it's all gonna land there.
Okay. But it looks like it's like dead, right? It's not like it's gonna get back up like last time, or
Give me an insight check.
not very good at these. But that's a nat 20.
So, with a nat 20, you figured out the mechanic. The hand looks like it's going to regain composure like it did the last 2 times, and it flexes off any damage it recently sustained. But what you notice is that when you hurt it enough, it gets less attacks on its turn.
Okay. I think that's gonna be my turn. Actually, I'll bonus action put the points now into my AC.
Bonus action, put it into your AC, and we're going to go ahead and move to initiative 10, which is Aura of Excess, and he will be making 2 attacks, one against Minnis and one against the both of you. So the first one is going to be a claw attack against Minnis. That's going to be a 19.
That's gonna hit. I'm gonna use a reaction. Swarm dispersal. I'm teleporting, baby.
So you're going to take 13 points of slashing damage and 13 points of psychic damage. So that whole attack is halved, right?
Yeah, all have.
See its mouth begins to glow and opens as a large ball of black fire shoots down onto the platform. Drell, Armos, make me a dexterity saving throw.
22.
5.
You take 34 points of necrotic damage as a shadowy ball that looks like a massive fireball explodes. If you pass, you take half. 34
Is it
points
fire?
of necrotic damage. No, it looks like a fireball,
necrotic.
but it's a shadowy ball of death.
I just got excited.
And it is going to move to initiative 2, Armos.
Perfect. Seeing the moon and the stars align, Armos ends up coming up with finally maybe the greatest turn that's ever happened.
More than the Phalor.
You know, it's
Or using a staff to blow yourself up.
yeah. You know, okay, first off, when you put it in perspective,
Or sacrificing your friends for the greater cause of a spell.
Yeah, exactly.
well, I was gonna sacrifice a friend, but luckily he got out of the way.
Wait, what?
I cast lightning bolts in a perfect line and hit his claw, his face, and the book, and possibly the moon at this point, because it's in such a perfect line. And I'm using the Bloodshard and also using my hit dice for my Eldritch Revenge.
So, okay, so you're using a blood shard.
I'm gonna use 7 of them.
Whoa.
So then that should give me 7 d6s, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. So it adds 2d10 to your attack when you absorb it, and you can shoot it up to 30 feet, and it'll float in place if you decide to do that. You can hold one.
Now we're adding it to the damage. So I'm adding 7d6 and 2d10. It's got to make dexterity saving throws. So
Okay. I'm a little scared about the damage regardless. Good thing it rolls with advantage. 18?
It's 19.
Fails.
Okay.
Armos, as you focus on this spell, Minnis and Drell, make me a perception check.
11.
24.
So it's 74 points of damage to the hand, the face, and the book. Possibly the moon.
74!
Thunder.
Oh, it's thunder damage?
Lightning. It's lightning damage.
Lightning. Okay. You see the hand immediately becomes crippled, blackened, and charred as it begins to float in place, almost lifeless. You see the book gets a hole blasted, still floats as the tattered pages begin to shred from the lightning. The face, as it goes through the face, you see that it shrieks and its skin begins to tear, but you know that it kind of bit through it. It took half damage there, but it still took a significant amount of damage. And you see the tome is almost torn to shreds.
Armos, after casting the spell and purposely aiming for the creature's eye as it rolls through all three things, I thought you could see everything in this that's gonna happen. What happened?
You are short-sighted.
And then with the 24 minutes, what did you get?
11.
Drell, you notice with a 24, as the lightning beam shoots throughout the sky, and as it fizzles, goes through, you notice the slightest shift in the moon. It tried to move out of the way.
Okay.
And we're going to move to initiative 1. You see as the black singed damaged hands begin to twist and as the bones pop as it regains its composure and nails begin to regrow back into place, they flex off any damage and come back. On initiative 20, you see the book starts to flip its pages. And as the book flips the pages, you see some of the pages magically restore itself, but the book still looks very heavily damaged. As we move to initiative 17, Minnis.
I move 10 feet higher as I am. Oh, goodness, how high am I now? This is the highest Minnis has ever been floating, by the way. He is 75 feet above the ground.
Oh my god, I can't even see him. He's so tiny up there.
And I was already going to do this on my turn, but I will start with the book because I don't have that knowledge of the moon shifting.
Oh, no, I yelled it to
Oh, the moon is
I yelled it to everybody.
miles. So it appears miles away.
I'm definitely hitting the book, though, first. And that is going to be, that's definitely going to hit, quick math, 29,
Hits the book.
as it takes 16 points of force damage.
As you shoot the book, you hit this volley of shots, and you see that the purplish glow emanating out of the cover of the book as the black energy seeping through the pages begins to dim. It begins to fall from its spot as it heads towards the platform, and then completely disappears and evaporates into shadow.
Oh, amazing. Love that.
The moon, Minnis. It's the moon.
And I was actually going to try this. I don't know if it'll work, but I did want to try shooting a sling bolt up to the moon. Let's try. It's fun. Fun idea, you know? That is going to be, oh goodness, 18.
You shoot towards the moon, and you see that it fades into the darkness.
I think you hit it, Minnis.
I think I did too! As I'm floating there, shooting at the moon, shooting at the tome. Looking down at this crazy looking fox creature.
It's going to use a legendary action on your turn as it's pissed that you just destroyed its book.
Like, there are endless tomes and endless possibilities, all leading to a single outcome of your demise.
And it screams at you and it's going to cast a spell. Nope, it's a legendary action, so it's just going to scream at you as another fiendish burst shoots from its mouth towards you rather than using the claw. It's a 25 to hit. You're going to take 30 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
As you move to initiative 14, Drell.
Drell looks at what Minnis just did, trying to shoot the moon, and he looks down at one of his hand axes down his waist belt, and then he looks back over the moon, and he shakes his head no and pulls back out his axe to try to fight it. It's like, oh. So the blood shard is gone, right? Because Armos absorbed it. So is there anything else on the platform besides us in these hands?
The right hand is on the platform, the left hand is 30 feet up, and the head is 55 feet high.
Okay, I will go ahead and I will attack the right hand again. There it is. That's a dirty 30, a 19, and a 17. And I am not using my +3 because last time I put in my AC, so just for the stat keepers out there. 78 damage on the hand.
Ooh, dead as it falls onto the floor and it begins to flinch again.
That's the one. It'll definitely stay down for sure this time.
You got him, Drell.
And I think that is going to be it.
It's going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn as the other claw slams down on you.
Impossible.
32 to hit.
reaction. I'm gonna use my D8 to try to block it.
What do you have to roll to block it?
So right now my AC is 26, so I have to roll 6 or higher. All right, here we go. On a D8, not a D10.
There's a chance.
That is a 4.
That's going to hit you, and you're going to take 14 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
And 14 points of psychic damage. As you move to initiative 10, which is Orvexis, as it looks at Minnis.
So,
And it's going to cast a spell as it looks at you and goes, as it opens its mouth. As you see these dark, shadowy bolts come from its mouth. Do you have a shield spell?
I wish Rangers could use shield.
You are going to take, that's so many ones. You're going to take 30 points of necrotic damage as this shadowy magic missile hits you.
Fucking reaction. I'm gonna use my last reaction of my storm dispersal, by the way.
Okay.
To have that to 15 and go 30 feet higher.
As you start to take these bolts, you teleport 30 feet higher, and then the rest of the bolts like home in on you as they make like a sharp U-turn and go, and they go up to you.
And I pass that concentration check.
Oh, because you don't want to lose trim, that's why. Okay, yeah, that would have been a high, yeah.
And the damage. I mean,
Yeah,
the damage
and
as well.
the damage. Yeah, Minnis is kind of feeling it right now.
Yeah, as I'm silhouetted in the moon with all my sits.
And he's going to make one additional attack with the claw because one of the claws is still up. It's left hand, and it goes to backhand Armos as it moves. So as it came down on Drell on Armos' left side with its legendary action, on its attack, it just backhands Armos as it's going to roll to hit.
Armos, go.
26 with 13 points of slashing damage and an additional 23 points of psychic. As we move to initiative 2, Armos.
So after seeing his book go up in flames, I shout up to the prophet, "Guess your book's missing a few pages," as I pull out my book and start to read from it. "Tell me, prophet, how does this chapter end?" And then I blow him away with Eldritch Blast.
Roll to hit.
Nat 20, a 25 to hit, 15 to miss.
It misses.
17?
Misses.
Ah, okay. The first one is 23. And the second one is 13. And then I'm going to follow up by casting Hex on him. And I'm going to Hex his Dexterity.
Okay. You hex dexterity as this large purple sigil imbues around him. And you see that with those 2 Eldritch Blasts, the white of his pupil begin to fade. As you see that the shadowy, his shadowy maw begins to drip this like purplish like blood onto the floor as his head just looks like it's floating. As we move to initiative 17 minutes.
I move 5 feet up and 5 feet over, because why not? Let's get in the center of the moon on the map. And I'm gonna rain down sling bullets with spectral SIDS on this guy. That is a 32 and a nat 20.
Ooh!
Love that. And I'm gonna double my SID dice on that nat 20. Thank you very much. Just the SIDS did 15 damage. Holy. 45 points of force damage.
45 force damage as you unleash this volley of shots as they rain down onto this floating head as the lights are completely blacked out as it receives the damage but continues to float. It does not make a reaction. Or does it make a reaction to that attack? What else are you doing?
That's gonna be all I can do on my turn, so I'm just gonna sit tight until the others go.
We move to initiative 14, Drell. You notice that the hands are lifeless on the floating platform.
Okay. I think what I will do, can I like hold an action? That like if the hands come back to life or something, I can take an attack?
Yes, you can hold an attack action.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay, you hold an attack action as you move to initiative 10, which is Orvexis. As you see the floating head is lifeless as it sits there. Minnis, from your close point of view, you hear skin ripping. As the skin rips, you see that a line of flesh and black blood begins to spill out from its fur. It comes down from the back of its head, down the center of its forehead, down its fox-like snoot, and then from the flesh A shadowy skull with red eyes slams down onto the platform in a shrieking rage.
Oh boy.
Armos and Drell, make me a dexterity saving throw as this skull of an Arcanolob crashes down, erupting in shadowy flames like a comet.
Dirty 20.
I'm talking about Armos. Woo! Dex saves are tough too.
17.
Drell, you are going to fail. Armos, pass.
But I'm dexterous.
You're gonna take 43 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
Half if you passed. And the hands come alive again. That was its head attack. As the hands come together, as the hands regrow and flex off, and about to make 2 additional attacks. Drell, your hold action goes off here.
Okay. That is a nat 20 on the first one.
What are you attacking?
The head, I guess, that dropped down and fucking hit me.
Sure.
So that's a nat 20. That is a 18. Oh, it's almost a second nat 20. And 25.
As it crashes down, as you're getting ready to attack, it speaks to you, and the platform shakes when it speaks, as it speaks much louder now. It's like
A silver predator perched on the spine of the world.
Is that like a riddle?
Earth, a servant of a false sun, cold as a grave, high as a curse.
That is 78 damage.
You unleash these ferocious attacks as the last attack sends a forceful crack throughout its entire skull as it shrieks in pain and continues to glow at you. This thing is looking insanely messed up as it continues its turn and is going to attack Armos and Drell with each of its claws. Drell, it's going to hit you with a 33, and Armos, it's going to hit you with a 29. Do Drell's damage first.
Reaction. I'm going to try to block it with my Dragon's Tail.
Yes, you can do that.
It's a 2.
So it's going to hit. You're going to take 12 points of slashing.
Fuck.
And an additional 31 points of psychic damage.
Okay. How is it? What is it? That's 47 total.
Yeah. Armos, you're going to take 15 points of slashing and an additional 36 points of psychic.
I go down, but then pop right back up because of my book.
Oh, no.
Oh, get up.
Armos, get up. And you see that, like, Reginald pounce his fist on your chest, giving you, like, an adrenaline shot to the heart as you pounce back up with one HP. As you see a little shadow fade from your tome as this ability has been activated.
Yeah, when Drell gets hit, you randomly, for some reason, start hearing that dinging noise in Pokemon when your Pokemon has low health. And it's like ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm seeing it. As we move to initiative 2, Armos.
So it is right on top of us.
Oh yeah.
Just like a white leech above, draining the very warmth with every rise.
Don't use Gust. Don't use Gust.
All right, I'm gonna use Cone of Cold from my staff as he's right on top of us. He has to make a Constitution saving throw.
He does pass.
He'll take half damage on a success, so he's gonna take half of this.
How much?
46 halved.
Which is 23 points of damage. You point your staff out, you shoot this cone of cold, and as this whirlwind of frost, that darkness magically swarms all around you as a shriek of pain reverberates on the stone. The magical swirl lifts all 3 of you up. Minnis, you are snatched out of the sky as you feel like you're free falling again, as a tornado of shadow encompasses all 3 of you, and the 3 of you fall back into the tomb of the first prophet. As the 3 of you land on the floor, badly hurt, bleeding. Minnis, you're still in Trimus form, as you now see that the coffin itself is now empty, with just the soul vessel in its place. Armos, you killed Oravexis.
Oh.
Drell, Armos with 1 HP. Armos, you are on the floor prone, as you are
Oh yeah, absolutely.
bleeding, straight bleeding onto the floor. And you feel like the red cracks is like seeping the blood.
Guys, I got him as I just fall and like kind of go full prone and just lay there staring up at the ceiling.
We did it.
My head hurts.
Everything hurts.
As I crawl over, slowly turning out of Trimus form and puking into one of these bile pits.
You see that the pits that would have like this black and white shadowy liquid are now completely drained and empty.
Well, they're not drained anymore. There's puke in there.
as you puke into like this once pool of liquid.
As I puke, I get smaller and smaller and smaller until I'm normal Minnis form. Oh man. That was rough, guys.
Drell's on his back, or he's like face down on his stomach, and he rolls over onto his back and like coughs up blood. He's like, "Oh God, okay, that one was rough."
Little bit.
Inside the coffin is this black shadowy orb. It looks like a ball of gas with this center of red emanating from its dark glow.
And I might as well cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on Drell.
You know what? I think you might want to save it. I think we're just gonna take a little nap right here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I save him some.
it's gonna make me feel better, right?
Some stuff though. I give him 24 health back.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna do something.
As you heal up, you see that a few moments pass and you collect the orb. And as you lift the orb and it comes in your possession, you notice that within the coffin, very slowly, that the remains begin to slowly reform. Like you see like the very basic outline of like its bones coming together as the shadowy orb is reacting to the room. Similar to the one like Chogs did back in the Maddening Dungeon when you took a short rest, as if it was reacting to that environment. You do know from what Namiris said that these are an extension of a Christo and can come back if lingering. And as you collect the orb, it comes in your possession, you see that the Arcanoloth demon skull imprinted on the floor begins to split open as the floor moves to the side, and you see this spiral staircase, and it goes towards the ceiling. And right as these golden stairs are about to touch the ceiling path opens around it and continues to extend upwards. As you see from the bottom, this fiery glow coming from the top, mixtures of fiery red and then this almost like this yellow golden glow encompassing around the red light. It looks holy in nature, but you get a great sense of evil. And then Minnis, you sense something familiar, a friendly presence coming from the next room, something that closely resembles an external source of hope. And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
God, I really hope it's a pizza.
Oh, wow.
That fight was the fun one. I did not think it was going to hurt you guys this bad.
I did.
This one is, this one took a number on you guys. Everyone's blinking red.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the red.
Oh, yeah.
Not looking good for you boys.
I hope it's one of those fountains.
We'll find out. There's only one way to find out, and that's the next session.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any comments or anything you want to say about this before we talk in the after show?
Nothing today.
It's good stuff. I like the 3-dimensional ones. They're pretty cool. Where you get height in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's kind of fun.
I think that was like the hardest thing for me. Is like we fight really linear a lot of the times, so I think just adding that element is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, range is not because like your hammer and your axes only have like I think a maximum of 50, 60 feet.
Yeah.
So Minnis, we'll talk about in the after show on like how it was reacting to certain things. But yeah, it was definitely coming up with this fight. I had like certain objectives for like each of you to try to play to each of your strength and try to share a mechanic with you guys. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but that was my thought process behind it. But we'll talk about it in the after show. Does anybody have any recommendations for this week?
Jared, you haven't done one in a while.
I know. I've just been kind of taking the back seat since I normally run all of these. You know what? I got one. Andor Season 2.
Oh, dude, it's
a pretty gimme one.
No,
but it's
Oh,
you don't like
dude,
it?
I've fallen asleep 3 times in the first 2 episodes.
Oh, really?
It's just, it's really slow. Like, that's my issue with it.
It is
it's
very slow. It's trying to do a lot, which I appreciate. It's, you kind of have to, I don't know. There's a lot going on, but so far, Interesting.
Unpopular
I like
opinion,
that it's a different. Yeah.
Star Wars
What
needs
is
to
it?
just take a break, go on vacation a little bit. It needs to stop making shows.
Marvel.
For the love of God.
I think you're 100% right, except for the Andor series. I think is the season 1 of Andor is the best Star Wars that's happened in.
I heard great
Forever.
things. I'm tired of being let down, and it's just I feel like Star Wars focuses on all like the boring things that Star Wars has to offer at this point.
Yeah.
And, like there's so many cool things that they can do, and I feel
Well,
like
it's
they
their
just
cash
ignore it.
cow. So they're like, how can we make more money? Let's make
Yeah.
another series about the same thing. And it's just like I will say Andor is good. Season 1 is good. Season 2, I am only like 4 episodes in, and I do like the series itself, like because Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. I think it's the best one of all time. And spoiler alert, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know how the Andor series ends. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I'm just having a hard time, I guess, trying to get through the first few episodes.
I really appreciate you saying Rogue One is your favorite, because I think some people hate on it for no reason, just because it was a train of hate at the time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was awesome.
That movie rocks.
Literally the best Star Wars movie.
It's really good.
It's up there.
The main source of hate was because they broke continuity with one of the guy's deaths, because he dies in the movie at a different time, but they killed him there. So technically, in A New Hope, the guy who gets choked out, I think is the guy who gets choked out by Darth Vader.
Sure.
That's the guy who dies at the end of Rogue One. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. You killed him twice.
It doesn't mean the story wasn't
I was going to say,
amazing.
if that's
the story was amazing,
if
but that's
someone's
why
like,
I got hate.
That's absolutely the dumbest thing. Like, get over yourself, bro. You're not like, if that's why you hated the movie, you have bigger problems in your life.
I agree.
Star Wars, hardcore Star Wars fans were like just as bad as League of Legends fans, and I will die on that fucking hill.
I agree with you.
I will die on that hill.
You want a hotter take than your League of Legends Star Wars thing?
Sure.
Star Trek's better than Star Wars.
Whoa.
There it is. Star Trek.
I don't
is-
love space stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't
How
really
dare
have
you.
a boat
How
like
dare you, Dan?
a horse in the race
I love
there.
space stuff.
I've never watched Star Trek ever.
Star Trek better
You know,
than
there's
Star
like
Wars.
that whole thing. But the only reason why I'm going to agree with you, because now I firmly believe there's more better episodes of Star Trek than there is of trash Star Wars. It's just more like
Star Trek is more like thought-provoking and like really cool. Like some of the stuff that they do.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure I'll like it if I ever give it a shot.
Do it,
Just
dude.
Sci-fi is just so far.
Star Wars is kind of rides the Darth Vader train a little too hard.
My sci-fi needs to be grounded in nature in some way, typically.
So like Stargate.
Yeah, I guess.
You like
I'll
Stargate?
have to watch Stargate then.
Oh, bro, Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, you haven't
Dude,
watched Stargate?
Atlantis, Stargate
Oh.
SG-1, dude, so good.
Recommendation.
Oh,
Number 2.
like nature sci-fi, The Gorge. Go watch that.
The Gorge, the obviously Scavenger's Reign, which I already pitched. The second I'm just in a spaceship most of the time,
Yeah.
or just like,
Vast nothingness doesn't do it for you.
yeah, that's where I have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
I already live in the vast nothingness of my life. Why would I want to?
That's it for me, everybody.
Cool.
What kind of goodbye are we giving?
Live long and prosper.
May the blood shards be with you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's summertime, patrons, and that means it's time for the annual Ivory Boulder Rock Slide Festival. My parents started this tradition when we first settled outside of Gilo, and you can expect all kinds of fun activities, such as boar wrestling, boulder throwing, and the dramatic avalanche competition. This is where you try to make the biggest rock slide possible using only your horns. There are a lot of rules, but I'll go over that another day. For now, let's shout out all the lovely patrons who decided to help run the festival this year, starting with the Shadow Smugglers. The Dread, it is good to have you back. It is also amazing that you were able to help burn the coals for our firewalking competition. All the Minotaurs in my clan were so excited to see green flames for the first time. Although, maybe we should turn down the temperature next year. I had to healing word a lot of scorched hooves. Julius Kendrick, I don't know how you keep finding my location, but your presence at this festival was surprisingly fun. Our clan doesn't shy away from the grotesque, and most of the guests loved your animated skeleton show. It was amazing that you worked with Reese to create such a spectacle. The Warrior Minotaurs will not stop talking about it. Annie, Master of Weapons, your blacksmith stall was a huge hit. Most of the warriors in the Ivory Boulders clan had no idea what a pike was before you came into town. I don't think they really liked the armor, but I heard you took 127 orders. Well, I know it was 127 orders because I was sent the bill. These Minotaurs don't really get out much. Next are the Bloodshard Bandits. Morgan Ulthil, you and your fox put on the most wonderful performance for the young Minotaurs. I saw one of the youngins trying to train a flying squirrel how to backflip after watching your show. We will absolutely have you back next year, if you're able. Just next time, please don't give the kids any more potions. They got a little bit addicted. Artemis, I really appreciate you running security for this event. I heard you took down a group of gnolls that ran towards the Drell statue I carved out during the art competition. It's crazy that gnolls were found in these parts. So weird. Craig Dawnbringer, your Quasit riding arena was a big hit with the children. How were you able to train that thing to behave so well? It's like you two have this special bond, an immaculate connection, a practical pact. Oh, wait, I understand now. Knockmock! Novo was overbooked, so it's amazing you were able to make it on such short notice to run your enchanting food cart. There were so many exotic forms of jerky and soups and kebabs. Although, maybe cool it on the defamatory remarks about Novo next time. Let's keep your competition friendly, shall we? Avanox, I was a bit hesitant to hire you since you are pretty new to the Bloodshard Bandits, but Artemis spoke highly of your work. You did an amazing job keeping Armos out of the private area reserved for the elders, despite his tricks. And don't think I didn't notice you on your break taking first place on the firewalking competition. Well done! Shade Greyfire, thank you for your well-thought-out speech during our flag-raising ceremony. It was so inspiring when you talked about overcoming demons and hags. I probably should have told you it was a flag-raising and then burning ceremony, though. Everyone was moved, but a bit confused at what it had to do with our hatred for the neighboring Bugbear tribe. That's on me. Brandy Woodburner, your wine pairing stall was such a wonderful idea. I never thought to drink honey wine with a spicy stew. Oh, but please make note to cut Drell off after 10 mugs next time. He got into sad Drell mode and wouldn't stop talking to the Minotaurs about Boxy. Sly, were you even at the festival? I couldn't find you anywhere. I did hear there was a hooded figure seen leaving flowers and fixing decorations around the festival. Did you have anything to do with that? But hey, next are the Sidget College alumni. Thank you for spending your summer break with us. David LaChance, I noticed you were going pretty hard at the Sid Spectacular After Party. I hope you had a great time. Casey, thank you so much for contributing to the festival fund, even though you weren't able to make it this year. I sent you a drawing of Miranor falling off an animated stone bull. I hope you like it. Punk, it was amazing having you and your band play at the closing ceremony. Your type of music went so well with our tradition of breaking our old chairs with boulders. Mongo, thanks for helping everyone set up their stalls before the festival. It's a shame you napped through most of the games afterward, however. I'll designate a Sid to wake you up next time in case it happens again. Saint Chaos, we all love your brews, but if you try to sabotage Brandy's stall again, you will be banned from the festival. We will still order from you, of course, but rules are rules. Eris, it was wonderful having a Genasi visit our humble village. You and Artemis did a great job fighting those gnolls. I also love the part where you mistook Miranor for a beast and tackled him. That was so great. And last but not least, we have Umbrea's heroes. Bjorn Battleborn and Drown got joint first in the Rage competition. They're still very mad, though, that they tied. Truckle Darts drew the most wonderful illustrations at her booth of John Carroll and Johnny Tarr going crazy during the pie eating competition. Sludge Lone Star, Man with Glass, and Taslin did suspiciously good at the bottle bow and arrow game and walked away with a ton of stuffed Reginalds. Hart and Barry Brandbottle came in first place at the amateur brewers competition and got way too drunk off their own supply. Jesus and Iskor Storm got into a shouting match over who was the better Dragonborn warlock, as Nico, a human warlock, drank their brandy awkwardly behind them. And And that should be everyone that helped out with this year's Rock Slide Festival. If you would like to help out with the next one, go on over to patreon.com/DND404 and subscribe to any of the tiers from Humbrae's Heroes all the way up to the Shadow Smugglers. Then I can personally thank you here at the end of every episode. Celebration. Until next time, everybody.